You ready?
Welcome back to Between Two Cheeks. I am Stacy Heller, and this episode is called What to Expect When You're Expecting Hell, which reminds me of the book When You're Pregnant, and it's what to expect when you're expecting. And so therefore, I guess there should be a pregnant pause or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm joined naturally by Brooke Kennedy, the owner and master esthetician behind Sweet Bee Hair and Skin Lounge.
Located here in Issaquah, Washington.
Yes.
We're here right now in Sweet Bee.
I look at it. It's so lovely. I mean, really, it's really lovely. There's things, and Sweet Cheeks candy.
I need to have one of those.
They're really good. Mm-hmm. So today we are going to talk about what to expect. So you made it through the preparation stage.
Yes.
Right?
You are prepped and ready upon showing up for your appointment.
Exfoliated. You're hydrated. You're aspirined or ibuprofened up.
If you choose.
If you so choose. And you are ready to go. You've got on your hammer pants and you're ready. So now you get here.
Yes, and you're nervous.
So
anxious.
So
and
nervous.
Sweating.
Okay, the sweating just
and you don't know what to expect because it might be your first time. Or you have had it before and you do know what to expect. So therefore you're still anxious.
Wait, really? That's a thing? You still get nervous even if you've had this done?
Some people do, just because everyone has different pain tolerances. So I have some people that can have full-on conversations with me. So we're just chatting away. It's a great distraction. They don't flinch or anything. And then I have some people that can't even keep their, knees open in that yoga frog pose. They just keep closing it as a defense mechanism.
Okay, we'll be talking about that, by the way. This reminds me of if you wear glasses or you go to the eye doctor, and they used to do that, the test where they blow a little air in your eye and you're like, because no matter how prepared, you are not prepared. I feel like this is what that would be like.
Because you just don't, until you have your first one, you honestly just don't know what to expect. Because people, the first thing they'll say to me is, Brooke, does this hurt? And I think a lot of people, they're expecting me to say no, but I can't. Does it hurt? Yes. You're removing hair at the root. It's not comfortable. It hurts.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Thank you for that honesty. So you get here and you're all prepped and you go into the back room.
You're going to fill out an intake form.
Okay.
Because consultation is key, and we need to know if you're on any medications, right? Because you don't want to get wax if you're on any skin thinning medications. You don't want to have been on Accutane for 6 months to a year. So those are important things.
That's interesting, because I think a lot of young women get this kind of thing done, and Accutane, typically it's, it's sort of a certain age demographic.
So we want to make sure that you're not going to be outside in the sun anytime soon,
okay. Or
we're going to just educate them, right? Because fresh exfoliated skin is going to burn easier. So you want to know, yes, medications are important, allergies. I'm going to ask them, what they might be allergic to. The beautiful thing about sugar is it is natural, and the pre and post products are natural and vegan.
Well, that's because those are the products that you've chosen.
Yes, and sugar literally consists of sugar, lemon, and water. And we use Tamara's Professional Body Sugaring, which is a local women-owned business. So Tamara is lovely. I adore her.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you fill out your paperwork and
do a verbal consultation.
Yep, and talk about the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then
I let them know that they're going to wash their hands, and then I tell them that I have a wipe so that they can wipe from front to back. It's very important for them because they may have chosen a bikini wax but really wanted an extended bikini, or they may have chosen something. So I just want to, I go over them
like,
with what
chart? It's like
I just tell them. So today you selected a Brazilian sugaring, and that is going to include the sides, the pubic area, the labia, as well as between the cheeks.
What was it? The labius majoris?
Labia majora.
Yeah, that one. The North Star. if you've been watching from the beginning of this series. Okay.
Just so they know, like, I want to make sure that we're on the same page.
You do not want to be surprised.
Correct. And they might have selected something without reading a description. And what if they selected a Brazilian, but they really didn't want a Brazilian? So just make sure that you communicate with your esthetician what you truly are looking for, you know, what results you're going after.
Well, and it's such an intimate process anyway that if you're willing to like bare yourself to somebody, then you should have the ability to talk. It's like dating, really.
And that's why a lot of people go back and see the same esthetician, because they've established that relationship. They know them, they like them, they trust them, they're comfortable, and they don't want to just be going and showing their lady bits to...
Yeah, we're going to talk about that actually in a future episode. You know, any port and storm, if you know what I mean. So, okay, so now I have a question about the wipe. I ask all the questions that you all want to ask, but don't. So is the wipe one of those little like wet naps that you get at like, you know?
Yes, you just rip it open and it's a little...
So it's not like a big old
wipe.
Diaper wipe.
No.
I prefer the diaper wipe.
I can always provide a couple more. If you feel like you need it. So once they wipe, and I step out of the room, so I just kind of let them know, you're going to derobe from the waist down. Here's a little wipe from front to back. I tell them they are going to lay on top of the sheet with their head at one end of the table, their legs at the other end, because I have actually had people be so nervous that with me giving these detailed instructions, I come into the room and they're underneath all of the layers of the bed. Well, they're hiding.
Do you give like a little paper cloth that you like? So
I give a draping towel.
So that, okay.
Yes, draping towel. But it's so cute because we have vinyl covers on our bed, and then I put a sheet over that so they're underneath everything. And then I walk in and I go and I just look at them, and I'm never going to laugh or make anyone feel, you know, silly. And I just say, how do you expect me to access that area? And they just start laughing and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so nervous.
You know I'm going to do this too.
You're going to get under all the layers.
Oh, I'm totally going to be like, I'm going to like wrap that sheet up like I'm a sumo wrestler or something.
So we literally have to say like exactly where we want their head, exactly where you want their feet, that you want them on top of the sheet.
Okay.
Because I have come in and people have been laying the opposite way too. Okay. They just get so nervous that, you know, they are just...
No, that's great that you're patient.
I've had some people strip all the way down too, thinking that they were getting a massage, and then they... realize that they're here for a Brazilian, and they're like, oh, I just took off all my clothes. There happened a couple times I walked in and just a nude lady.
I mean, you know what? Good for you, nude lady, for being so comfortable, because the only time I've ever been that comfortable is literally when I've been ready to give birth, because I'm like, honestly, I don't care. This is just a mess. And so I don't care who sees it. It is just not a good thing happening right now. I don't care. Like, literally a custodian came in at one point and was changing the trash when I was in labor. And I was like, oh, hey, like, I just didn't care. And I am so modest. So hooray for the draping cloth. So then you come into the room. Yes. And I love that you mentioned in the previous episode that you should wear something on top that is going to be lightweight, like a cami or whatever, because you said we're going to sweat.
Yes. So
are we sweating because
we're
sweating
nervous? Because you're nervous. And then our body views hair removal as trauma. So
our body is smart. Listen to your body.
So therefore, people will sweat. And then they feel horrible because they can feel it just dripping. And they're like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sweaty. And I was like, it happens to everyone. It's okay. You're going to sweat. So just know going in, everyone, you are going to sweat. Most likely. I have some clients though that during the winter months I have bed warmer, you know, for facials and everything, and they love having the heat. And I was like, there's only a few people that actually can get a Brazilian done with the bed heat on. I am one of those people. I love to be warm.
Badass.
And I've been doing it for so many years. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It does get better. The first time is always the worst time, but after that, it does improve. I promise. I always tell people, please try it at least twice before you
stop.
Before you give up.
What I do for my art,
I think you're going to be okay. Like, everyone just has different pain tolerances. Some people can have full-on conversations. Yeah, so I can't wait.
This is going to be like a fortune teller.
I haven't really had very many streamers.
Like, your pain tolerance is...
Like, if people are yelling, it makes me feel like I'm not good at my job. Because I do this every day. Like, just yesterday, I did 11 Brazilians. Like, it truly is my specialty. They're in good hands.
You might want to add to that, like, I gave like 11 Brazilian sugaring sessions versus I did 11 Brazilians.
True.
I'm just saying. Okay, so there we are.
Thank you, Stacy.
I just think Justin would be a little annoyed. So there I am. I'm all clean. I'm in my drape cloth. I am sweating bullets, and I'm on my back. And
you are on your back. Well done.
Thank you.
You're not on your tummy.
Thank you. Yet.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So now
so
what
then
happens?
I say, I'm going to have you put the soles of your feet together. And I do actually this. And then I have some people that follow me with their own hands. And I love it. Like they're getting ready for yoga.
Namaste.
But that's just for me because I want them to see like these are your knees and these are your soles of your feet together.
Can most people's body do that?
They can, yeah, you can put your soles of your feet together. You may not be able to do like, you know, the split position,
okay,
but your knees will be out.
I'm going to be practicing this at home.
Yeah, so soles of your feet together, knees out, and then I cleanse the area.
Okay.
So yoga frog pose. I wish I knew what it was officially called, but I'm not a yogi.
Comment if you are a yoga aficionado and you know what that pose is called, other than probably waxing. Okay, so you've cleansed, we're in frog pose, and
I do a light dusting of powder, just to absorb the moisture because you are sweating a little bit, most likely. And then we're ready to rock and roll. So the process then begins. Okay. So I grab my little sugar ball and I mold it in my hands, and then I'm going to actually apply it against the hair growth. We always start with the bikini line because it's not as traumatic. As we go in and down towards the horseshoe of pain is where it gets a little bit more.
There is a horseshoe of pain? That is horse shit. Holy cow. Okay. So now
I want to get them warmed up. You know,
so do you use the same ball of sugar?
You can. That's what's amazing. So the only time you have to change out a sugar ball is if it completely fills with hair, which can happen. So if you were to come in with full bush, then I am going to do a hybrid wax and sugar. Okay. So I'm going to use my hard wax as my debulker just to kind of get some of that longer hair, because hair actually grows in layers. So that hard wax is going to get all of the hair that it has access to, and then anything that's remaining, that's what I'm going to go through in sugar.
That's going to come in contact with your skin, because as you say, sugar doesn't remove the skin, sugar removes the hair.
Correct, but it is more painful. So when you put wax on, wax doesn't hurt going on besides the heat. So that is a benefit. Sugar, because it's a paste and you're actually molding it, the application hurts, but the removal hurts less. Whereas wax, the application hurts less, but it has heat because sugar is just room temperature. But then the waxing hurts more when you remove it. So it's kind of opposite.
Okay.
But we use hard wax.
This is making
not
me feel
soft
better.
strip wax. So hard wax only adheres to the hair as well and not to the skin, just like sugar.
Okay.
So we have tips because we don't trim. That was one thing. I spent right after I graduated school, I took many waxing classes from industry greats. Mm-hmm. So Stephanie Lanes and Cricket Enos and Lori Nestori.
I love that there's like industry greats.
Oh yeah, there's the waxing diva, the waxing queen, and the wax chick. Those are the ladies I just named.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember walking into Stephanie Lane's class. My friend Katie and I had gone down to Portland, and one of the first things she says is, we do not trim pubic hair. So just know it, sweet bee, I'm not going to be trimming any pubic hair. I don't want you laying in it. I don't want it going all over the room. It's not sanitary. So that's why I have hard wax. Hard wax acts as my trimmer.
Right, it gets all over, I know. So
that's new, by the way.
Okay, so now that's happening, and you already talked about how you start with the bikini line and then you work your way into the horseshoe of pain. Mm-hmm. Now,
between the cheeks. So you're able to stay in that position the whole time until the between the cheeks.
So now I have a question, because we're going to have to wrap up here in a few minutes. So there's a lot of questions to get through. One, I'm lying on my back. I'm in frog pose. Am I also having to hold my...
thank you.
hold
your fupa?
my fupa? Is it a faux pas not to hold my fupa?
So you will be holding the skin taut. And we have everyone. It doesn't matter what size or shape. Waxing and sugaring is successful when the area of the skin is held taut. So yes, I will put you in all of the positions that you need to be in with your hands. So I'm constantly moving people's hands throughout the service because I'm trying to chat with them and distract them. I have them select their own music when they come in because that's important because if it's something that you resonate with, right? It's a little bit more comfortable. I mean, I can't wait to see what music you choose.
I can't wait to see either.
I had Lil Wayne going on yesterday and she goes, how many clients are going to stick with this station? She goes, you have to tell me the next time I'm in. 4 people stuck with Lil Wayne.
Okay, that's so gangster. Okay, yeah, I very white just then. Okay, so we've done that. We're holding taut. We're in the position, and now when do we flip? I'm really
when it comes to between the cheeks. That is when I'm going to, for sugaring, so when they're waxing, they often bring your knees to your chest, and it's all because we have to follow the hair growth. So waxing, they're set up for success with knees to chest the way that the hair grows. And one beautiful thing is when you first start taking all of these waxing classes is that you are the model. Like you show up to class knowing that you are going to get a Brazilian. So when I first came out, I got to be in all the different positions for between the cheeks. So I've been on my side. I've had my knees to my chest. I've been on my stomach, spreading my cheeks. I've been on all 4s, which that's old school waxing. Whoa. If you're going to someone that is doing all 4s, they probably have been doing this a very, very long time.
Which doesn't necessarily mean that they're not good at it. It just means that they're old school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll still get the job done. I've just been in all of the positions, so I prefer to be on my hip, bringing my knee over, and lifting my cheek high. Because I'm not just staring at them, you know?
Well, I have to say, the whole knees to chest thing, I feel like my boobs are going to get in the way.
You don't have to lift them too high. Like you have your knees kind of out.
Like, okay, I'm doing everything to the extreme because I'm trying to think of anything that's going to make it easier. Okay, so in your case, because you're going with sugaring against the hair growth.
Correct.
Then we are on our side.
Correct.
And
so you're on your side and you're literally lifting your cheek. I don't know if I can do knees to chest. It's like this.
Thank you for that. You saw it here first.
If you needed a visual.
I know. But
go to YouTube, folks. Then you'll see the position I just did.
Well, exactly. You totally have to go to the YouTube. And I feel like the other one, it's like you're lifting your cheek to do like a fart.
Well, people do fart during the service. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Awesome.
We have the whole story.
Why do you do this?
Somebody has to.
That's
I have
true.
had a client ask me, did you always aspire to be a Brazilian waxer? And I didn't really know how to say it because she was like asking me very just
Yes, I used to take the hair off of peaches and I turned them into nectarines.
I said somebody needs to do it, you know, and it's one of those things I honestly love the Brazil because I am building relationships. I am creating a most comfortable position or situation as possible and an uncomfortable experience. You know what I mean? Like most times we can't hug now, but people will get done and they're like, thank you, because they thought it was going to be just absolutely horrible, you know? And then I love it when people say, it wasn't that bad. And I'm like, yes, it's a win.
Awesome.
It's a win.
Well, and it's all your skill set between your science and your technician skills and hands-on. Exactly. So, okay. So did we miss anything about what to expect? We're going to talk about, in our next episode, we're going to talk about post-care.
And we do talk about, we give you a hot towel at the end. So if you're worried about being sticky, that's one thing I love about sugar, is it literally just dissolves and you will not leave feeling sticky at all. So I just remind them to just wipe everything down, including their bum, because some people forget, otherwise they're going to be sticky in their pants on the way out. And then I give them another wipe because you want to disinfect the area because they were just sweating, right?
That's true.
So we need to give them another wipe so that may disinfect. And then we usually we always give a revitalizing cream. So something to kind of bring, you know, it has like a little bit of aloe vera and witch hazel and German chamomile, something that's going to calm and soothe the skin.
All right.
Because everyone has different reactions. Waxing can actually cause hives for some people.
Okay.
It can cause, some people can look like a plucked chicken, like that chicken skin. That's not comfortable. But that's why I love gentle products.
That's not cute.
A lot of people, they don't know how they're gonna. You get raised little bumps like that histamine, kind of systemic reaction. Can happen
something
as
to
well.
look forward to. How I'm gonna react. This is so exciting.
But that usually lessens over time. Your body is incredible and builds up that tolerance, and it just gets better and better. And there's less hair and less density. And when I had mentioned the 60% reduction, it's not like 60% until I see you at week 4 or 5. It's just as it's growing back, and we've damaged that follicle.
Nice.
There's a nice reduction in hair growth.
Okay. So that was a lot to absorb. So I know I'm personally going to need a break right now. And then when we come back...
Do you have a full understanding of what to expect when you're expecting hell?
Yes. Hell. But not, weirdly. So I feel better, actually,
you're going to be surprised. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
I gave birth to 4 children.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
got this.
My hoo-ha has been through a whole lot. I'm just saying. Okay, so anyway, so stay tuned for the next episode where we talk about what to do
post-care.
And in the meantime, if you are super curious or excited or ready to roll, then you can find Brooke and Sweet Bee and Issaquah. Go to their website, check out social media, all these things, and you'll continue to learn more. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.
See you next time.